I think I am live. Let me go to my page here. See what's going on. Good morning, everybody. Let's see. Go to your channel. Bing, 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 bing. Thumbs up are appreciated as you're coming in. Thank you. Good morning, Quinny. Good morning to you, honey. Make sure I have everything all set here. Bear with me 1 second. Good morning, Beach. Beach is life, man. I would love to be on the beach today. It is cold. Cold, cold, cold. Let me just check a few things here. Man, Streamlabs has got stuff so goofed up in here. Get back to details. They should set all this stuff up before you go live, you know, so you don't have to waste people's time. All right, there we go. And a very good morning to all of you. I'm driving, so I can't chat. Good for you. Eyes on the road. Hello, Leslie Shamaj. Good morning to you today. Hope you're doing well. Just doing the final setup here. Look at this. It took me a minute and a half. All right, it is the 16th of December 2019, and I knew it was going to be cold last night at about 10 p.m. It was 42 degrees. I know you guys are like, Rosie, you don't even know what cold is. I'm going to tell you guys. I know. How you doing, Maggie, Olivia, Miguel? I know what cold is. Good morning, Kim. One time when I was in Scouts, we went up to a place in the Blue Ridge Mountains up in Pennsylvania. It was just north of Everett, Maryland, and it was 15 below zero. 15 below zero. And with the wind chill, the wind speed of 30 was like 65 below was the apparent wind temperature. Man, that was cold. And you know what makes it worse? We were sleeping in tents. And there was this big farmhouse that one of the scout leaders had there, and they'd like the scouts to kind of rough it, but it got so bad at about 4 o'clock in the morning that they went to everybody's tent and got them out and got them into the house. Now that was cold. Yeah, it's all perspective. I'll never forget that cold. And there were some scouts that were really not. You know, the scout motto is be prepared. They were sleeping in plastic ponchos, you know, and stuff. I don't know how they didn't just, I don't know how they just didn't die in their sleep during the night. I don't know. Hello, Chris. Yes, Georgie's getting ready to go riding, to go out shopping. George, you gonna go riding? Woo, you gonna go riding? Hi, Sean. Good morning to you. I'm doing well, thank you. Had a decent sleep last night. Turned in kind of early. I've been in this mode of watching Christmas movies, especially really old ones that are very enjoyable to me. George C. Scott in A Christmas Carol, and there's a lot of versions of them going back to the 1920s, I believe. Silent. How you doing, Carlos? Hi, Vanessa. Happy holidays to you. Oh, he loves. George, you going riding? Huh? You gonna go riding? He's got a very ni hao, Johnny West. Ni hao. Song Yen Kuai Le. Song Dian Kuai Le. Merry Christmas in Chinese. You're surprised Elvis hasn't roasted and eaten Georgie yet, huh? So I'm watching a lot of Christmas movies. I'm trying to find very obscure ones from the 1920s and 30s because they give you a very rare glimpse of what life was like almost 100 years ago, 90 years ago, in the way that people celebrated Christmas. Hello, Mr. Z. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Mr. Z, you had people, thank you, even again, $5 from even again, Evan again. Thank you, Evan. Appreciate that. Woo! Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Merry Christmas to you, Evan. But can you imagine that? Yeah, 31 degrees, which is brutal around here. The coldest, people always ask me, what's the coldest temperature you ever had experienced on the rancho? It was 18 degrees in December of 2013. And citrus trees, they were young and they took a beating on that day. Did you like the movie Merry Christmas? I basically like all Christmas movies. Even the most recent ones that Christmas with the Cranks or whatever, and I can't ever remember the name of the movie that starred Tim Matheson. He was a regional manager for a tractor company, and he had to go to a town in Nebraska and tell them that they were going to close down the factory, and it was a good movie. It was a decent, I think it was a Hallmark movie. I'm not sure, but I love to watch that. Of course, uh, It's a Wonderful Life remains my favorite Christmas movie and one of my top five movies of all times. Oh, you're into Hallmark right now? Yeah, they do some good movies. Uh, it snowed at the Rancho, 1976. I have had a dusting of snow. When I first moved here, I lived in Petaluma, and it was 2008, December of 2008, and I woke up in this morning and there was a very light dusting of snow on the ground. Otherwise, I've not seen any snow in 21 years here. But when it is winter time, when we have cold now, and if you do have a little bit of rain and it's this cold, you will see the mountains ringed with snow over to the east of Santa Rosa and to the north. So, snowed in Santa Rosa in 1976. Yes, very, very unusual. Very unusual. Because usually, no matter how chilly it is, it always warms up to the 50s. Hello, Butter Beanhead. Good morning to you. Yeah, I saw Vegas got a snow. I think it was last year or the year before. But I always think about the movie It's a Wonderful Life, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie, but I think the thing that made that movie great, number one, it had a good story that's very appropriate today, and it's very appropriate to YouTube. George, you going riding? Woo! Yeah! Going riding! George, you going riding? He gets to choke and he's so happy. He's such a good rider. I don't know if many of you ever seen that movie, but it's very appropriate. And I have my friend Vanessa in here from the UK, and she was kind of distraught that it wouldn't make a difference whether she was here or not. And of course, the whole lesson of It's a Wonderful Life was, you know, a guy, George Bailey, played by Jimmy Stewart, had big dreams when he was younger, of seeing the world and being an architect. But then life has a way of sidetracking, in some cases, crushing dreams. And for him, his dream of architecture, his dream of traveling to town when his father died, who was the president of the Rinky Dink Savings and Loan. They didn't want that savings and loan closed down, that building and loan association, because it was the only alternative to Old Man Potter, the mean old guy that was played beautifully by Lionel Barrymore Jr. And then they came back and said, George, they've agreed to keep the building and loan open, but only if you come and run it. Well, that was the end of his dreams. Then he wanted to go to college, but you know, he couldn't do it, right? But he paid for his brother to, to go to college. So it got so bad, right, that he's he figured out it was better if he hadn't been born. But we see in the movie that's far different from the reality. He got to look at the town of Bedford Falls as if he hadn't been born, and it was quite an eye opening story. So when you don't think that you mean anything to people on YouTube, just try not being around for now. You like his gratefulness in that movie, of course. Just try not being around, and people definitely notice. My friend in oh, you met Zuzu, the little girl, George Bailey's daughter, whistling a while. He was a kind person. Jimmy Stewart is reputed to be the same in life as he was in the movies, and of course, he was a war hero too. A major general in the Air Force Reserve, flew, I don't know, 400 hours on quite a few dangerous missions and things. Yeah, the finger's doing better. It peeled off the old bubbled skin, so the hand is almost looking normal again. Yeah, Zuzu. Yeah, that was a great movie. So when you don't think your life touches other people's lives, you would be surprised how much it. Every time a bell rings, another angel gets its wings. Yay! That's right. But it also has one of the greatest moments of acting in all my experience, and I've watched a lot of classic movies. It's a real hobby of mine from the 1920s onward. And when George Bailey is in Martini's bar, and he's just sitting there wringing his hands, and tears are coming to his eyes, and he's praying for God to help him. I mean, that is definitely one of the most powerful 2 minutes in movies. Yeah, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance was good too. Thank you, Shema. Said, Rosie, I would notice if you weren't around on YouTube. Would that be a good thing? That was a big splinter that was about a half an inch long and embedded straight down, almost touching the bone. That's where I had no butterbean. That's not a burn. That was where my finger was all bowed out from a deep splinter. Yeah, AMC has a lot of good. Good night, Ria. AMC has a lot of very good classic movies. And I like to seek out the very obscure ones too, besides the well known movies. Vacation, National Lampoon was great. National Lampoon's Animal House was such a watershed movie for me. I think it was 1979, 1980, and then man, and I just, uh, I thought to myself, oh, if I was about 5 years younger, man, I would love to live in a fraternity house where they're throwing mannequins through the third floor windows. That would be so good. That would be so cool. I'd be like Pledge Week, going around checking out all the different fraternities. Yeah, this is the one for me. Yeah, this is the one for me. The Wild One. Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton's Bad Santa. Yeah, I loved Animal House. It was great. It was classic all the way. And I love that scene where the early hippie, one of the precursor hippies, of course, the movie was set in like 1963 or something like that. And it was the early age of hippies, and the guy's sitting on the steps of the party house, their house, and they have a toga party, and the guy's playing the guitar and singing to the girl, I gave my love a cherry that had no stone. And Belushi takes that guitar and just smashes it on. How many people wish they could do that back in the hippie days, instead of saying, hey man, get a haircut. Yeah, I miss Belushi too. I miss John Candy too. John Candy, yeah, Trapped in Paradise was a good movie. That was a really funny movie. Yeah, that was, and then just the John Candy, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I laughed so hard in that movie. Steve Martin and John Candy were such a great pairing, and I do so miss John Candy. I mean, he was like the quintessential Canadian. really cool. And I was very lucky when I was in Chicago in 2015 when I went to the Biograph Theater and Mr. X drove me by the Biograph where John Dillinger was gunned down in Chicago. On the same street was the Second City TV studios there. Yeah, you like the old gangster movies, Angels with Dirty Faces, Dead End, Little Caesar. You like all that stuff with Edward G. Robinson, right, Carlos? And Jimmy Cagney taking that grapefruit, mashing it into his girlfriend's face there, or standing on top of the propane tanks or gas tanks, and went, "Look at me, Ma, I'm on top of the world." Boom, and blows up at the end of it. Yeah, I love John Candy. Uncle Buck was phenomenal. That was good. Uncle Buck was great. Yeah, you're going the wrong way. And then they flash to their skeletons in the car, and the convertible roof is burned off of the Plymouth Reliant or whatever they were. I used to watch Second City TV too, Edith Prickly and all of them. Good stuff, man. A lot of good memories. A lot of good memories on there. When Steve Martin wakes up in the morning, they're sharing a double bed or something, and he goes in to wash his face off, and he looks down and the dirty socks are in, are in the sink. Oh my God. Yeah, Uncle Buck. National Lampoon's European Vacation. I thought they kind of stretched that a little bit to the second one, replacing kid actors and all. The Bishop's Wife was good. Bells of St. Mary's. Good morning, Rosary. How are you today? So there's a lot of good Christmas movies to watch. Yeah, Dr. Demento. Remember that? Dr. Demento? How many of you remember the? Yeah, those aren't pillows. Wake up in the morning, it's like, what's that on my butt? Oh, I love a good comedy. I do love a good comedy. I want to thank Mouse Toes. Good morning to you. Oh wow, a big tornado in Louisiana right now. Well, be safe, everybody. Make sure to take shelter. Yeah, does Elvis remind you of John Candy? Dirty socks. Well, he doesn't really wear socks too often. Yeah, planes, trains, and automobiles was tremendous. Yeah, the people train don't run out of Wichita. Love that. Only the Lonely. Yeah, I remember Dr. Demento. Like I said, I remember the radio show that went all the way back to the Mutual Broadcasting System, the Nightcaps with Herb Jepko. That was the 19 man, had to be the early 70s, I don't know. They're getting it bad. Yeah, we're expecting 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, so it's funny. I mean, you thought it would be really warm, and this has been a very, very cold November and December for a lot of the country. It's been tough. So be safe out there. If you're in Louisiana, make sure that you keep your eyes on the weather and all that. How about Elvira? Yeah. Of course, the cartoon classics, the one that would always, and of course, when I was a kid, really Christmas only began at Thanksgiving. It didn't begin in Halloween, right? The day after Halloween, they take down, they already got the Christmas trees up and stuff, but back then, there were very sharp separations between the holidays, and you really didn't. The day after Thanksgiving was or on Thanksgiving Day, when Macy's would reveal their big windows, all duded up, in all the great department stores in downtown Baltimore, Hutchler's, Hochul Cohn, Stewart's, the Heck Company. They would all do the same thing with all of their fancy windows. Nowadays, it's just the seasons just all bleed together. Yeah, be safe. Watch the weather. Yeah, I have a good memory, Jackie. I can't remember what I ate the night before yesterday, but I can remember a lot of crazy stuff. Yeah, Roadrunner was good. Yeah, Merry Christmas to the kid and all of us. And I figure at this time of year between Thanksgiving and Christmas, if you can't be of a good spirit or good cheer, then I suggest you not look at others, but look within yourself, to your own self and your own world, and ask yourself, what have I done to make it a better place? And we're still hatching our plans for our Christmas out. Elvis and I to do a little something for the community here. So we're still working on that. Yeah, Wile E. Coyote is one of my favorites. He never gave up. Always hungry. Well, when there's not a lot to eat in the desert, I can tell you, having been out to Yuma. You know, you want a slab of cactus and a couple scorpions. Have you ever taken an IQ test? I don't. I think I have average IQ, Johnny, to tell you the truth. I just always enjoyed reading and always excelled in things like English, philosophy, those type of things. Although I enjoyed engineering and mathematics and all that. So, but I didn't score particularly well on SATs. I didn't particularly score well on the LSATs for entrance into law school and all that. So, which triangle fits with this group? I don't know. Just flip a coin. They might move the homeless, which would be good. There is shelter. Yeah, I hope they do, Chris. But it's going to be a big problem for the fairgrounds. We have such an out of control homeless problem here in Santa Rosa. It's just getting out of control. Uh, Here, I mean, there's people that live in new housing developments that this trail is running behind their home, and there's hundreds of people. Hey, coach, that are camped out back there. Probably a little above average, but I never tested. I never tested well on that. But that's not unusual. People are left brain and right brain, and I think left brain people they test better on things like standardized testing. Right brain people depend more on their uh, language skills and other things to get through life and getting a message across. Yeah, it's getting pretty bad here in Santa Rosa. The homeless problem here per capita is probably the biggest one in California. And of course, California has the biggest homeless population of any state in the United States. Why? Because it's good weather. You come here, you don't need to be, they'll just give you services like there's no tomorrow. I'm headed to Trader Joe's. Woo! Well, I'm going to be doing something today. Yeah, it's like whiskey OG. I think, yeah, it's. I've seen up in Redding where he's living now. It's a tough scrabble area. A lot of RV parks and a lot of trailer parks, and I'm talking about WOG Whiskey OG's channel, and a lot of. I mean, I'm going to put it out there. In some parks, there's a lot of low life people around. It's very cheap rents and stuff, and some parks are very well maintained. We drove around Las Vegas. We went to some very nice ones. Then we went to some that looked like they dropped a low level, low level bomb on the place. It looked so bad. Yeah, people are coming from other counties because that's it. It becomes a magnet. Same to you, Yasmin. I went in one in Oakland, and the homeless population. I work in Oakland, seems to grow daily. So it's becoming a magnet for people. When the word goes out, people communicate, and they're like, "Hey, come up to Sonoma County. They're giving all the services away that you could hope for here. The cops aren't going to bother you." So it's different. I pay for cash. Yay, Dave Ramsey. Where a paid off mortgage is the new social currency, right? You like their Indian food. I've only been into Trader Joe's about 2 times. I just tend to shop at our local Food Max, move Food Max over here. Yeah, non-bread is good. So I enjoy Indian food. but there's limits. Like I've had goat before, and it's a little gamier than lamb, right? But some people like goat, some people like mutton. Like I said, there's nothing I won't eat, but just some things you have a preference for. Okay, cold morning, cooking fun. That was a few reminiscences. Go watch some Christmas movies. Go watch It's a Wonderful Life. Go watch Scrooge. You need to go. I love Food Max too. I don't love it, but it's okay. Yeah, thank you, Yasmin. The lovely Yasmin Jade 75. Merry Christmas to you too, sweetie. Goat meat tacos are great. Yeah, so it's different strokes for different folks. Now, last night, Missy Jen's not here. I can tell you, she got up early today, and I had a little bit of the I did the Mongolian beef noodle last night. And she practically tore she got up about 7:30, and she practically tore the refrigerator apart and couldn't find the leftovers from that. And she said, "Oh, did Elvis get the leftovers of the Mongolian beef last night?" And of course, Marshall was mad because after I served him a heaping helping, he was like, I asked him if he wants some more, and he said, he said, "No, I'm good, you're good." Then I got it all packed up and I got it put away. And then he's coming on the stream telling people that I deprived him of a second dish of Mongolian beef, right? Well, I brought it inside and I'd packed it up and I'd put it in the fridge, but Missy Jen started to go a little crazy. Started to go a little. How you doing, Harvey? Started to go a little crazy looking, and I said, "Here it is." I had it in a little white bowl there, and she was very happy to have that. That really turned out good. That was as close to restaurant taste as I think that you can get, and it turned out good. But Marshall likes to tear the fridge apart to see to see what he's not going to be able to eat. Anyway, I think that turned out. I think that turned out very well. I'm not sure if I'll do another cooking tonight. This could be the last night of decent weather, so I may take advantage of it. Yeah, I'll have to make extra. He was like, "Oh, there's too many noodles in this thing," and then he's attacking it like there's no tomorrow. Hey, Jay Holly, Merry Christmas, Marshall. I will be baking tonight. I'm going to make lemons are in season. I'm going to make one of my favorites, which is Ina Garten's lemon cake, triple overload lemon cake. It has lemon in the pound cake. It has lemon on top of it. It's just lemon, lemon, lemon. Don't boycott me. Don't boycott me, Kit Kat. You know you like it here. What's the channel without Kit Kat, right? Oh, well, Harvey, it's not because he wants to. It's because he has the memory of he has a very bad memory of what happened 10 minutes ago. Hey, Icy, what would you do if he took the plate away? Yeah, I go to the Mekong market. They cleaned it up. It doesn't smell like dried cat anymore, like racking up cat jerky up there. So that's the good news. I probably ate my share out of cat out of that market up there. So I think I'll be baking tonight on there. Do a little holiday baking on there. Yeah, no spit roasted Marshall. So yeah, but it turned out good last night. I never imagined till I looked at the recipe that there were two things that they popped in there that really made a difference in that stir fry. One was a tiny bit of ginger, and they say you can use fresh ginger. but I chose to use a little bit of powdered ginger I have. Number two was sesame oil. And number three was coating the beef with cornstarch. And what that did was effectively make that meat, it just did something that made that meat very, very tender in there. And the last thing that made it really interesting was putting a quarter of a cup of brown sugar in there. Now, I would have never imagined, hey, J Money, I never would have imagined in a million years that adding brown sugar to a stir fry would just take it right on point to the authentic stuff that comes out of the restaurants. That's it. Uh, yeah, I guess I made peanut butter cookies. Gina, what kind of with sugar cookies? How you doing, Vicky? My love. With sugar cookies, you really have to make the dough early and let that set. Thank you, Vicky. I think it turned out. I think it turned out wonderfully last night. I really do. It turned out beyond my expectations for that. Now it was cold, but we were able to get the fire going good, and we had a good time. And people enjoyed. Obviously, the numbers bear out that people enjoy. Yet crisps and thickened, so it was very tasty. It was very good. So happy holidays to you, Harvey. Set in the fridge. Yeah, I have it hidden in there. I guess the rest of the pot pile disappeared today. You'll come in, Rosie. Any more of that lemon meringue pie left? Nope. I made shortbread cookies before. You can look up shortbread recipe. They're not too difficult to make. I'm not sure. I watched the peanut butters. I just like your bacon. Oh, thank you, Gina. I enjoy baking, but that lemon meringue pie was definitely world class. That meringue was that high on top of that thing. Yeah, you made sugar cookie dough. All right. Well, that's something that you should make ahead of time and refrigerate that and roll that out. Okay, take care, Butterbean Head. So I'm open to suggestions. I'll be doing more baking. Oh, yeah, Jen's driving. So let me grab a refill on my coffee. I'll be right back. Sleep in heavenly Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace. Oh, man. Oh, hey, Anna. Merry Christmas to you, my North Carolina baby doll. Can you help me find your Brunswick stew? I gotta find it myself. I think I took it. I think I took that one down. Oh, the channel feels like family. Thank you. Oh, that Brunswick stew is good. I gotta figure it out. It came from my mother. It came from Williamsburg, Virginia, when they made a Brunswick stew with rabbit. How about rosettes? There'd probably be a little. Is that the things? Is that the things that you dip into the hot oil and they make like a flour or things like that? So, George, you're worth more dead than alive. You can run, but you can't hide. ah. So I'll be making something tonight, but I really like that lemon cake, and because lemons are in season, they are really fantastic. Really fan. I'm a little afraid about doing hot oil in a micro bikini, especially with Marshall coming in and out. I don't even want to laugh about that. Yeah, rabbit and squirrel and Brunswick stew is incredible. It's the greatest stew you can make is a Brunswick stew, in my opinion. Besides my Italian beef stew, which is a classic. You have a lot of good Christmas memories of the food that we had. Food that we had. My mother would have a uh, pork, standing pork rib roast. That thing was amazing. With sauerkraut and green bean casserole, mashed potatoes, good stuff. I love lemons too. The reason I like lemons so much is they're a very bright flavor and they hold up very well to baking. Orange is a little more insipid. It's not as strong in baking as a good lemon is. And lemons are so versatile. You see Marshall use them in the dolmas. Use 10 lemons in there and everything. Deer meat and bear meat coming Friday. Time to fill the freezer. Woo! Hi, Mindy. Hugs to you. Need one of you girls to come and do a naughty nighty duo with me, huh? Go bring your baby doll nighty and come on over. Preferably the semi-transparent one. And Alexa. Lemon jelly roll. I just like lemon. A lot of good things. So I'll find something to do. I got a tree that's loaded with hundreds of lemons here, so I've got to use them up. Lemon pound cake. Look at Ina Garten's lemon pound cake. It is over the top. It is delicious. It uses lemon zest in the pound cake. It uses a lemon syrup that you pour over the top, and it infuses down, and then it uses a lemon glaze on top. Triple lemon overload. I've never had bear. Yeah. Oh, thank you tenaciously, Sadie Mae. Your bronze tan is still looking good, babe. Thank you. I can't wait to springtime or get down to Mexico and get some color. Lemon drizzle cake, really good. It's an amazing cake. Ina Garten's lemon cake is probably one of the top 5 things that I've enjoyed making. Yeah, clean too. Them good in green tea. It's just an amazing thing, lemon. Oh, thank you, Star Walker Blue, and good morning to you. I'm heading over if you make that. There we go. I'm surprised Aunt Alexa eats bear meat, huh? The only bear meat I ever had is a bear claw. That was it. 5,000 calories per pastry. AKA the camel toe, right? I believe I've made a Black Forest cake. I've made a German chocolate cake, Black Forest cake. I've done so many. I had to take a lot of them down though. I had to review over 7,000 videos over the last 3 months. 7,000 survived. 81 in Florida today. I don't juice and freeze the lemon juice, although I should. They tell you if you put that in ice cube trays and then freeze that, then you can put that in bags and then take it out and use it. I think that that's very smart. I had a bear claw. Yeah, I wish if I ate something like that, I wish it would go, I wish it would go right to my hiney, to tell you the truth. Hey, Mark Handler, if I thought that was the case, I'd buy them by the caseload. I live in Idaho. I've had most meats. Use your imagination. I know what meat you like the best, Vicky. Elk is also delicious. We can buy it here from a local elk rancher. Cool. Yeah, I don't know many people that don't enjoy chocolate, Anna, to tell you the truth. It's good stuff. Good stuff. I really enjoy a good chocolate. Well, I wish Mindy May you could just direct where the fat to go in your body. I'd double load my rear end, that's for sure. Oh, rainy, gloomy, wet, cold in Kentucky. Well, limoncello, lemon liquor. That's supposed to be good with vodka. Do 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 do. Yeah, I'm jealous those girls have nice heinies. Tastes like chicken. Do 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 do. Love that. Chocolate without sugar is some nasty crap. I think that's like a very Americanized. I also don't enjoy chocolate that's 90% cocoa and it's like, ew, it just becomes grainy and it's tough to eat. I think most Americans prefer like milk chocolate and things like that. You love that music, Vicky? Mine's big enough. I don't need any more on my butt. There you go. Lemon drop shots are great. I'm thinking about doing they kind of have maybe go down with Marshall, do a naughty Christmas Eve party in some of these clubs have the costume thing and all that. Yeah, dress the rim with sugar. That's it. Lemon pepper chicken is awesome. Missy Jen loves lemon pepper chicken. She loves that. Absolutely loves that. Do do. Now it's great. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I've had buffalo burgers before. They're pretty good. They tend to be very lean. Just as long as I don't have any, just as long as I can't eat another Doma for a while. I like how when Marshall enjoys eating something, he won't say anything, but he'll be scooting around looking for seconds on it. Hey Trish, good morning to you. Merry Christmas holidays to you. I can't do orange flavored chocolates. Yeah, it just depends. Christmas Eve would be great to see you. I think we're going to do Christmas Eve is probably book a reservation. I don't really do this too often, but really get dressed up and go out and have a Christmas dinner and then just make something here on Christmas Day, because I hope you're doing well too, Trish. Reason being is that I always like Christmas Eve better than Christmas Day. I'm all doming out. That's it. I'm on a Doma vacation. To me, sour tasting food is it doesn't make everything automatically good, but I do have a cultural appreciation for different cultures. So we'll see. We'll see. Christmas Eve is an amazing night. It seems like everybody you meet is nice. Everything, it's like one of those rare days. And the day after Christmas is such a bummer. It's such a monumental letdown. Made a lemon pepper pork loin last night. That sounds good. That sounds good. Yeah, we don't see Anna Alexa around too much anymore. I miss seeing Anna. It's once in a while over Tribes chat. The tribe skiwi. We ate a bald eagle for Thanksgiving. Calm down. Just kidding. Could you imagine? You go to a cocktail party in about 1975 when the bald eagles were virtually extinct. Yeah. Well, you're not. It was so unusual last night. A bald eagle. We didn't know what it was. Landed on the back deck, and Homer just took a 12 gauge and took its head off, and we plucked it. Turned out it was a bald eagle. That thing had a lot of meat on it for the size of it. Oh my God. I'm going to call the police. Yeah, after Christmas, the niceness stops and the resolutions begin. The after is a bummer because I'm just left with the weather. And it's just like the lights come down, the trees get thrown away, and it's just like now you've got to endure basically 2 months. Now, spring begins in mid-February here, so you got to endure 6 weeks of nonsense. There's not much going on in the sports world. It's just a really blah time. Yeah, that was from DDT making their eggs shells too soft. Yeah, so now they made a big comeback, I think. We had a bald eagle for Christmas dinner. We roasted that mofo in a pan. Tasted so good. We put the feathers in a can. England is bad in the winter, Harvey. I guess because it doesn't really snow. It's mainly rain, but it's very interesting. One of the things I noticed, Harvey, was that so many novels, great literature is of course set in England and London and places around that. And it just seemed like the winters were much more bitter in the 1800s and up through about the 1920s. They always seemed to have there had to be like a mini ice age or something that just made the weather cold, a lot colder than it is. Plenty of hockey left. Yeah, I'm not a big hockey fan too much. My fiance was sad about the way his boys, the Dallas Cowboys, played this year. I was pleasantly surprised with how the Ravens are playing with Lamar Jackson is just the talk of the NFL, and I just think to myself, wow, you guys better get used to seeing him on TV because the NFL is going to jiggle the schedule around to feature the Ravens in a lot of prime time. Yeah, Christmas Eve has atmosphere, and now there's 10 days leading up to Christmas, and of course we have 9 days left here. Is building excitement and everything. Mini ice age in 1850s, yeah. I'm not sure about global warming or not until you see the average temperature charts, and then you see it's like 3 degrees Celsius or something rise, and sea levels are rising. I only like women's beach volleyball. Man, I love to bikini up and play volleyball on the beach. I love that. Of course, yes, I look a little different, but. Do 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 Yeah, I think the volcanic age and stuff like that. One good volcano can induce more climate change. Thames was frozen. Yeah, it would have been Marcus. That's what I'm saying. The Thames was frozen. Every Charles Dickens novel seems bitterly cold, and Scrooge and all that. Hey, how you doing, Fundy? Boo. Hey, Jen is home. So that's going to be our Christmas plan: is have something nice for Christmas Eve. Book something nice. It's not often that I'll book a nice restaurant, but I think for Christmas Eve, normally we'd be over Janice for Christmas Day, but she's having other family come over on that day. No playing in the rain. That's it. So, anybody going to get a white Christmas that you know of? We'll probably get a wet one, a rainy one. If you played in a taco, it's a Dorito bikini. You have a whole new fan base. There you go. Well, I've always had fun on the beach. That's for sure. Scrooge with Bill Murray is great. I love that. Tune in tonight for Scrooged. That's a great movie. I love that. Sea levels are rising, policymakers are buying more oceanfront properties. It's all a hoax. Could be, Danielle. I'm torn. I don't know anything about I don't claim to know it. I just stay out of it. I don't know. I think periodically, like Harvey said, the Earth goes through cycles, and I don't know. Yeah, Dorito, there you go. You're lucky you have restaurants open there Christmas. No. Well, Fundy, that's not the worst thing in the world. You know what I mean? If I understand restaurants aren't open there on Christmas, but Christmas Eve, I would imagine that they would be open. But I'm glad families can enjoy Christmas Day. My Rosie love. We mostly have a white Christmas. Hey, how you doing, JK? How's your friend doing? Did he get out of lockup? How you doing, Ron? Good morning to you from down under. Had more rain this month, I think, than we've had all year. I like Heidi with Shirley Temple when the gypsies brought Shirley from Claire's caregiver. You know why I never liked Heidi? Because during one of the famous Oakland Raiders game, when it was coming down to the final couple minutes of the game, they cut away to Heidi. They called it the Heidi Bowl. And they just left people hanging the last 3 minutes because it was time for the networks to start the movie, and football wasn't as important. Well, after the Heidi Bowl, man, football reigned. That was it. We now join the following program in progress, right? Hey, Kathy, Merry Christmas to you, honey. Look up Heidi Bowl. That was a really famous incident. That changed the map of football, just like the Baltimore Colts 1958 sudden death victory over the New York Giants, the greatest game ever played, put the NFL on the map in a big way. Yeah, it was hilarious. They cut away, and the local affiliates, the NBC or whatever switchboards in New York, just went crazy with outrage. People were just in shock that they would leave a nail biter. They'd leave a nail biter game, Well, let me just see if I got this right about it. Let me open another tab here. This new router's working great, by the way. Let me see something. Heidi Bowl. I want to get my facts straight here. Yeah, the Heidi game was the Heidi Bowl was a 1968 American Football League game between the Oakland Raiders and New York Jets. The November 17th contest was notable for its exciting finish in which Oakland scored 2 touchdowns in the final minute to win the game 43-32. It got its name for a decision by the game's television broadcaster NBC to break away from its coverage of the game on the East Coast to broadcast the television film Heidi, causing many viewers to miss the Raiders' comeback. Response to the preemption by viewers and other critics was negative. The families of several Jets players were unaware of the game's actual conclusion, while NBC received further criticism for its poor timing in displaying the final score during the game during the Heidi movie. NBC's switchboards were jammed by viewers phoning to inquire about the night scandal, preventing the planned change from being communicated. So they couldn't even call out, right? Heidi began as scheduled. Viewers were just outraged. So the 1997 the Heidi game was voted the most memorable regular season game in pro football history. Nutty, huh? Man, don't take away guys' football. You know what I'm saying? It's like, whoa. No bueno, man. No bueno. La da da, la da da. Yeah, that's a very good. I just love incidents in history like that. Jackie said, since we hosted all these freaking kids Thanksgiving, a low-key restaurant sounds beautiful. Yeah, I just think, and it really added insult to injury to the people that enjoyed Heidi that they flashed the football score on the TV screen. I guess people never heard of listening on radio or whatever, to figure it out. Man, I remember being dragged to the Sound of Music when I was a kid. Oh my God, sitting through the movie theater with that. The hills are alive with the sound of music. I called it the sound of mucus. I burned that early on Julie Andrews, and it was followed by Mary Poppins. It's like, oh my God. Can't we see some, Debbie Does Dallas or something, I hate it still. I can't listen to it, man. I mean, it assaults my senses every time I watch. My kids used to love to watch that, and every time I just have to put earplugs in, and terrible. Had to make coffee. Got your coffee. I see. Okay. We have cousins that are staying for Christmas that I can't stand and never see. It always ruins Christmas. Sounds like thank you, Ron. Sounds like a typical Christmas. Okay, take care, Trish. Have a good one, sweetheart. Take care. Unbelievable. So that covers everything today. Christmas memories, cooking fun. Make sure to go out and watch a good Christmas movie. Yeah, the stereo sounds pretty good. And I have this Logitech Brio, which picks up in stereo too, which really makes a big help. We went to a restaurant for Thanksgiving. It was great. No cleanup, but I sure missed the next day. Turkey soup and turkey sandwiches. Yeah, and of course, Canadian Thanksgiving is typically in October, I believe. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close it out. It's about 59 minutes and 30 seconds. Hey, Chris, sorry, just heading out. Hope you and your mom are doing well in the holiday season. And Merry Christmas to both of you. I don't think I'll be doing the van build broadcasting today. I'm not sure if Marsha will. And And I will see you guys be doing some baking a little earlier tonight, and then doing a late night hangout. So anyway, the original Waltons movie with Patricia Neal is free on YouTube. It's a Wonderful Life is available to watch on YouTube. George C. Scott, Scrooge, all those great movies. Go get yourself into the Christmas spirit. I don't know if you want me to stream it. I'm not sure. I'm going to try to run the heat vent today in there. So I don't know if you guys. I'm afraid sometimes I bore you guys. We'll do Star Walker. See you later, Kim. I'm afraid that it just becomes too boring for you guys to watch that. I'm not an entertainer that bores people. Do 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 la ba 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 boo. Ba 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 boo 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 boo. Yeah, Die Hard too. Hey Keith. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you around. Woo!